Ideas are like fish. If you want to catch little fish, you can stay in the shallow water. But if you want to catch the big fish, you've got to go deeper. Down deep, the fish are more powerful and more pure. They're huge and abstract, and they're very beautiful. In his book, Catching the Big Fish, David Lynch, the renowned director of hit films such as Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, and Eraserhead, speaks of meditation, creativity, and his ability to capture powerful ideas within art. Lynch claims that transcendental meditation, which he has practiced for over 30 years, has been central to diving deeper and catching the big fish. He quotes, "He whose happiness is within, whose contentment is within, whose light is all within, that yogi, being one with Brahman, attains eternal freedom and divine consciousness." Lynch recalls that when he first heard about meditation, it sounded like a waste of time to him, yet the phrase "true happiness lies within" piqued his curiosity. He started to read about meditation and asking questions. He received a call from his sister, who said she had been doing transcendental meditation for 6 months. He writes, "There was something in her voice, a change, a quality of happiness, and I thought, that's what I want." Lynch speaks of the peace of mind he experiences in his practice. It takes you to an ocean of pure consciousness, pure knowingness, but it's familiar, it's you, and right away a sense of happiness emerges. Not a goofball happiness, but a thick beauty. Lynch claims he has not missed a meditation in 33 years. He meditates once in the morning and again in the evening, for 20 minutes each time. He writes on the effects of this habit, "I find that the joy of doing increases, intuition increases, the pleasure of life grows, and negativity recedes." He recalls that when he began meditating, he was filled with anxieties and fears. He felt a sense of depression, and he often took his anger out on his first wife. He writes, "After I had been meditating for about 2 weeks, she came to me and said, 'What's going on?' I was quiet for a moment, but finally I said, 'What do you mean?' And she said, 'This anger, where did it go?' And I hadn't even realized that it had lifted." Lynch refers to this depression and anger as a suffocating rubber clown suit of negativity. He writes, "It's suffocating, and that rubber stinks. But once you start meditating and diving within, the clown suit starts to dissolve. You finally realize how putrid was the stink when it starts to go. Then, when it dissolves, you have freedom." Lynch believes that this state of clarity is crucial to tap into the flow of creativity and ideas. When it comes to crafting art, Lynch believes you should not focus on how other people will perceive it. He writes, "You don't know how it's going to hit people, but if you thought about how it's going to hit people, or if it's going to hurt someone, or if it's going to do this or do that, then you would have to stop making films. You just do these things that you fall in love with, and you never know what's going to happen." Lynch also speaks about how it feels to catch ideas, for which he has a clever definition. An idea is a thought. It's a thought that holds more than you think it does when you receive it. An idea is a spark. It happens in an instant. He writes, "You fall in love with the first idea, that tiny little piece, and once you've got it, the rest will come in time." He returns to the metaphor of fishing to explain the importance of desire in catching ideas. Desire for an idea is like bait. When you're fishing, you have to have patience. You bait your hook and then you wait. The desire is the bait that pulls those fishes, those ideas. The beautiful thing is that when you catch one fish that you love, even if it's a little fish, a fragment of an idea, that fish will draw other fish, and they'll hook onto it, and then you're on your way. Soon there are more and more and more fragments, and the whole thing emerges, but it starts with desire. Lynch emphasizes the idea of expanding your consciousness, quoting the old Vedic texts, the Upanishads. Through meditation, one realizes the unbounded. That which is unbounded is happy. There is no happiness in the small. Let's think of your awareness as a little fishbowl. This fishbowl is riddled with the impulse to pick up your phone and check Instagram, Gmail, TikTok, and your messages. Maybe you'll catch a cool betta fish, or even a clownfish. But if you want to catch the big fish, you must expand your container. Lynch believes within every human experience there's an ocean of pure, vibrant consciousness, and that when you meditate, you dive in. He writes, you splash into it, and it's bliss. You can vibrate with this bliss. Experiencing pure consciousness enlivens it, expands it. It starts to unfold and grow. Perhaps Lynch's sentiment resonates with you, and if it doesn't, maybe challenge yourself to try and feel this way, and see what happens. Let's say we feel the spark and we catch a fish we're happy with. How do we judge this new idea? For this, we need intuition. Lynch writes, intuition is seeing the solution. It's emotion and intellect going together. For Lynch, it was the camera, the tapes, the world, and actors. But whatever the medium is, when we are putting everything together, there are differences. That's where intuition enters. Lynch emphasizes the idea that this is not a forced process. You don't dive in for specific solutions. You dive to enliven that ocean of consciousness. Then your intuition grows and you have a way of solving those problems, knowing when it's not quite right and knowing a way to make it feel correct for you. That capacity grows and things go much more smoothly. Lynch believes that by meditating, by diving into the self, we can sharpen and expand our intuition. If we tune into ourselves, our actions become more natural. He writes, the thing about meditation is, you become more and more you. He speaks more on intuition. The idea is the whole thing. If you stay true to the idea, it tells you everything you need to know, really. You just keep working to make it look like that idea looked, feel like it felt, sound like it sounded, and be the way it was. And it's weird because when you veer off, you sort of know it. You know when you're doing something that is not correct because it feels incorrect. It says, no, this isn't like the idea said it was. And when you're getting into the correct way, it feels correct. It's an intuition, but all along it's the idea talking. Lynch also speaks on the idea that anger, depression, or other negative emotions fuel art. Some artists believe they need to hold on to this negativity so they can put it in their work. He writes, they don't like the idea of getting happy. It makes them want to puke. They think it would make them lose their edge or their power. Lynch believes that by meditating, we are able to transcend these negative emotions, and that this allows our clarity and creativity to increase. He expands on this idea. If you're an artist, you've got to know about anger without being restricted by it. In order to create, you've got to have energy, you've got to have clarity, you've got to be able to catch ideas. You've got to be strong enough to fight unbelievable pressure and stress in this world, so it just makes sense to nurture the place where that strength and clarity and energy come from, to dive in and enliven that. It's a strange thing, but it's true in my experience. Bliss is like a flak jacket. It's a protecting thing if you have enough bliss. It's invincibility. If we're able to suit up with our bulletproof vest, we're better able to tackle life. Lynch elaborates on his approach to negative emotion. Don't fight the darkness. Don't even worry about the darkness. Turn on the light and the darkness goes. Now you say, that sounds so sweet. It sounds too sweet, but it's the real thing. Lynch continues this metaphor of light. We're like light bulbs. If bliss starts growing inside you, it's like a light. It affects the environment. If you go into a room where someone's been having a big argument, it's not so pleasant. You can feel it. Even if the argument is over, you can feel it. But if you're going to a room where someone has just finished meditating, you can feel that bliss. It's very nice to feel that. Lynch also challenges the idea that meditation is selfish. To meditate is not to close yourself off from the world, but to strengthen yourself so you can be more effective in it. It's like when they tell you on a plane to put your mask on before helping others. He sums up his thoughts with the following passage. Stay true to yourself. Let your voice ring out, and don't let anybody fiddle with it. Never turn down a good idea, but never take a bad idea. And meditate. It's very important to experience that self, that pure consciousness. It's really helped me. I think it would help any filmmaker. Start diving within and enlivening that bliss consciousness. Grow in happiness and intuition. Experience the joy of doing that, and you'll glow in this peaceful way. Your friends will be very, very happy with you. Everyone will want to sit next to you, and people will give you money. He leaves off with one final reflection. Everything I experience today brings me back again and again to where I started. True happiness lies within.